President Trump is meeting with leaders in Vietnam this morning ahead of a meeting with North Koreans Kim Jong-un. Could the United States run out of cash this fall? We'll tell you about what has to happen to avoid that fate. And a house fire in southeast Kentucky leaves several people injured, some seriously. We'll bring you an update.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 5:30 on Wednesday, February the 27th. I'm Will Puckett. After today, we have one day left in February. Let's bring Brandon in. We appreciate you tuning into Mountain News this morning. And Brandon, February is going out nice and sunny, at least today. Tomorrow, does that remain to be seen, or are we going to have two repeat days and then the end of the week gets tricky?
I tell you what, we have a repeat of yesterday today, but after that, the clouds will be back into play. It'll still be decently warm to wrap up February, but still not as warm as it has been, and maybe there's chances for some spotty showers as well. Let's take a look at this morning, though, on Buffalo Mountain. All things quiet here at 5:31 here in Perry County and across the region. Temperature's a big contrast, though. 29 in Monticello, 43 in Wise, Pikeville at 40 this morning, and you see right there just down the road from Pikeville, Prestonsburg at 32. Jackson and Hazard, big contrast, 39 to 31. So we look across the state and you see some warmer air trying to surge in quickly to the south. Atlanta 58, Charlotte 54, Huntsville 51, just up the road in Nashville, though still in the 30s this morning. 65 this afternoon, mostly sunny skies. More clouds will start to build in as we head into the nighttime hours, and overnight we'll pick up a few stray showers as we head into your Thursday. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, President Trump is just about an hour away from meeting North Korea's Kim Jong-un in Hanoi, Vietnam. Denuclearization is the main focus. So far this morning, the president participated in a handful of ceremonies with the leaders of the host country. CBS's Stephen Portnoy is there with details.
Using this communist country, Vietnam, as an example, President Trump says North Korea can also become an economic success.
It helps that it's in Vietnam because you've shown something that the world is really getting to see, the incredible job that you've done in Vietnam.
Mr. Trump kicked off his two-day summit here, meeting with the host country's leaders and overseeing the signing of new purchase orders for American-made planes. More than 20 years after the U.S. normalized relations with Vietnam, Mr. Trump points to its progress as an illustration for Kim Jong-un.
And I think he wants to do something that would be on a par. If you look at what you've done in a short time, he can do it in a very, very rapid time, make North Korea into a great economic power.
In a tweet, the president said North Korea can thrive like Vietnam if it would denuclearize. The potential, he said, is awesome. Later this Wednesday, President Trump sits down with Kim for a brief private meeting, followed by a social dinner. It will be the first time the two will have met since their Singapore summit last year. That produced just a vague agreement by Kim to work toward denuclearization.
We both want to do something. We both are going to do something. And we have developed a very special bond.
Administration officials say this may not be the last summit between President Trump and Kim Jong-un, that more meetings might be necessary to reach a broad agreement. Back home in the U.S., lawmakers in both parties want to see concrete results. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, Hanoi.
Now, CBS News will have a special report around 6:30 for the meeting. We plan to carry that live right here on WYMT.com. Meanwhile, the president's emergency declaration to fund a border wall is facing new criticism. A bipartisan group of 58 former national security officials say, quote, there is no factual basis, unquote, for the proclamation. That comes following a House vote on the Democrats' resolution to block the emergency declaration. 16 states have filed a lawsuit challenging the president's declaration. Several groups, including the ACLU, are also suing the administration. Well, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell was asked by a reporter yesterday on whether or not he personally thinks the president's emergency declaration is legal following the House vote yesterday. Here's what he had to say.
I haven't reached a total conclusion about, I wouldn't go to me for a simple will. I did go to law school, but we had some real serious lawyers in there discussing that very issue. What is not in doubt is that there really is a crisis at the border, and it seems to me our colleagues on the other side are in denial about that, and you can't blame the president for trying to use whatever tool he thinks he has to address it.
Now, Michael Cohen is scheduled for 3 rounds of testimony, including his first public hearing with the House Oversight Committee later today. Cohen will also meet privately with Senate and House Intelligence Committees. Democrats are expected to grill Cohen about President Trump's taxes, businesses, and finances. In the private sessions, Congress will likely probe Cohen about Russia-related issues. Well, in other news this morning, the Treasury Department may face a cash crunch this fall if lawmakers don't raise the nation's debt ceiling. The department is in charge of paying government bills. The government is set to hit its debt limit on Friday unless Congress takes swift action. If it does not, the Treasury can still use the so-called extraordinary measures to borrow more money to pay the nation's bills. Officials with the Congressional Budget Office say the department can only do that until the end of the fiscal year on September 30th. Well, the top pharmaceutical executives were blasted on Capitol Hill Tuesday for skyrocketing prescription prices. 7 pharmaceutical executives representing companies from Johnson & Johnson to Pfizer were in the hot seat with the Senate Finance Committee Tuesday over the price of their drugs. Each of the companies represented has had to answer tough questions about the high cost of drugs.
You'll find most members of Congress are sick and tired of the blame game. It's time then for solutions.
At least one CEO added they did not see a single cause for rising costs and that it was time to take a comprehensive look. Well, back here at home in Kentucky, bourbon distillers say they feel left out of a bill that would allow customers to buy their bourbon online and have it shipped to their front door. Senate Bill 99 allows for customers to receive up to 2 cases of wine each year, but it leaves out purchases from bourbon distilleries. Officials with the Kentucky Distillers Association say wineries from other states are trying to change Kentucky's law. Distillers say they just want to be treated the same as winemakers.
I don't know. We keep hearing that they might pass the bill with wine only, and that's a problem for Kentucky bourbon because why would you support another state's signature industry over your own? We're just seeking equal treatment, to be able to provide it and spread good Kentucky bourbon all around the country.
Now, the KDA tells us more than 40 distilleries say they are against the current bill on the table. A House bill passed last year does allow distillers to ship if customers buy on site. Well, at least 5 people were injured in a house fire in Corbin yesterday morning. Firefighters say around 8:30 Tuesday morning they responded to a call on Engineer Street about a house fully engulfed in flames. 5 people were injured and at least 2 were flown out. Others were taken to other hospitals. We talked to 2 women who say they saw the smoke and came to help. They told us they saw kids with extensive injuries.
There was one little girl, she was burned up. She had 3rd-degree burns on her face and you could see her skin pulling off. It was just melting off the little girl's face. She wasn't probably 9 years old.
Firefighters say at this point they do not know where the fire started or what caused it. In Philadelphia, a mother and daughter are behind bars this morning accused of murdering 5 members of their own family. Police say 45-year-old Shayna Decree told them the victims wanted to die. Decree and her 19-year-old daughter Dominique face 5 counts of homicide and 1 count of conspiracy. Twin 9-year-old girls are among the victims. A Sullivan County, Tennessee Sheriff's deputy who was shot last Saturday has died. Sergeant Steve Hinkle had been in serious condition since he was taken to the hospital after he was shot while responding to a call Saturday morning. Hinkle is the 10th Sullivan County officer killed in the line of duty. The shooting remains under investigation. The Sheriff's Department in Mingo County is asking for your help to find a suspect in an assault case. This is 38-year-old Billy Ray Evans. We are told on February 16th, deputies responded to the Mitchell Branch area on a complaint. When they got there, they found Evans had hit 78-year-old Virginia Coleman, knocking her down and busting her head open. Anyone with information about his whereabouts is asked to call the police department at 304-235-0300. The victims of the World Trade Center bombing were remembered Tuesday on the 26th anniversary of the attack. On February 26, 1993, a 1,200-pound bomb was inside of a Ryder truck that was parked in a garage beneath the World Trade Center. The explosion killed 6 people and injured more than 1,000 others. A memorial placed at the World Trade Center after the 1993 bombing was destroyed in the 2001 attack that brought down both towers. Meanwhile, officials say a possible mine blowout happened early Tuesday morning, causing water to spill over into the roadway in Buchanan County, Virginia. The incident happened at Upper Elk Creek in Hurley. The sheriff's office said no homes were affected and that roads were passable. The old underground mine is owned by CM Mining. Well, coming up on Mountain News this morning, lights, camera, action. A major motion picture was filming in Lexington yesterday. We'll take you to the set.
The only bright lights you're going to see here in the mountains today is the good old sunshine. I'll have all the beautiful details in about 3 minutes.